Alright, Travis Wayne Goodsell, update for you on today's excitement on my birthday. It's just plain rude. Just plain rude. Anyway, to catch you up, if this is your first video that you're coming to, and you're not paying attention to anything else I've done, last week, previous to that, because this involves a conspiracy against me. And yes, a conspiracy is an actual law. I've got one filed against the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is why this is connected. And I'll talk about that update as well. But a couple of weeks ago, landlord dropped this off at everybody's door, making a statement saying, hey, we're receiving reports that tenants are violating lease agreements. I haven't violated any of the claims here. I've not violated any lease agreements as I'm aware of. And so this is inappropriate for the property manager to tell me that I'm going to have landlord may terminate this agreement for non-compliance with the lease requirements. Obviously, I know that. That's what I signed. I just signed a renewal back in November of last year. So I'm well aware of this information. So why is she sending it again to me? And so I emailed her and informed her that it's inappropriate to threaten me with a potential lease violation if I've not violated the lease, and informed her that it would be better served that she communicate with the person who complains and the person complained about. And so she gave me the white supremacist dismissal. And then last week, on Thursday, Percy Pearson, who I am not a client of, but has clients here in this building, and so he regularly babysits in the front office. He has also been ordered by the West Valley City Police Department to not have any contact with me and stay away, because I'm not a client of his, and he's previously been threatening my life. So West Valley City stepped in, stopped him from doing that. So a year of fear, because he still comes to the building after he threatened me, but he has stayed away and hasn't contacted me, hasn't made any comments to me since the incident last year, until Thursday. He comes banging on my door and says, we're having a meeting, emergency meeting, everybody must attend. And I told him, I'm not your client. Then get out of this apartment building, you're being evicted. Are you threatening me? Yes, I am. And he storms off. So I went and got my piece of crap phone, which I found out is one of the Chinese phones that planted tracking devices. And so I'm getting harassed by all sorts of advertising phone calls while I'm trying to communicate with others and waiting for government to contact me back. Very annoying, very frustrating, and very disturbing to my life. Thank you, Trump. But I went to the meeting, had it recording, and asked Percy to reiterate his threat to me that he made at the door. He refused to respond, and so I let him speak through the whole meeting until he turns to me, as you see on the video that I posted that day, and asked me what my plans are. So I informed him, the West Valley City Police has ordered you to stay away from me and not even communicate with me. Your threats made to me was inappropriate. And he just did this as he's smiling to others and just waves me off. And so I leave. And then I upload the part where I'm talking to him, because he doesn't talk to me at any other time. He's talking about other clients he has, and was talking about their lives, and names were given and all that stuff. So I didn't put any of that in. I edited those parts out so that you don't, so none of the other tenants are revealed. But you can see it for yourself. I put it on the internet for you. And then I couldn't sleep that night because of his threat, and realized, hey, I can call Adult Protective Services for this. I mean, the police won't let me contact them anymore. And by the way, all my neighbors here, if any of you are watching, I saw a suspicious vehicle doing a patrol around the neighborhood. I couldn't call the cops because Natalie Johansson threatened me not to inform them of any complaints I have. That was because of the whole Percy thing. I was not allowed to file any more complaints to the police officers because they all get funneled to Natalie Johansson and she squashes my complaint. And so, if anything got stolen from you last night or early this morning, sorry, I couldn't help you. Bring it up with your neighbor, Mayor Ron Bigelow. He's the one that ordered or established the department where Natalie Johansson is in charge of. See how much corruption's going on here in Utah? All because I'm a translator. That's my only crime. I'm a translator, and the president of the church is not. That's my crime. That's why I'm being punished. That's why I'm being attacked and assaulted and defamed and all that stuff. And I'm having to review everything here, but I filled out the form for Adult Protective Services because it's a third-degree felony to assault me, thanks to the church's threat back in 2008, because I filed a complaint with the state of Utah at the Capitol building and the courthouse, Matheson Courthouse, and the church, also the federal courthouse. So I have an FBI file as well that was opened up, and I showed the video with that file number as the thumbnail. And mugshots.com if you're curious. And so I file that night. I do an overnighter video series that very few people watched. And I had my morning routine on the Friday, and then I check my emails as I'm about to go to bed, and at around 7:15, 7:30ish, somewhere around there, I'm winding down for bed and see an email from my landlord at about 8 minutes or so after 5 o'clock. And I look at it, and it looked like it was a lease violation that she threatened with previously, that I had told Percy some racially discriminatory things. As you can hear from the video, none of that. And so I file with Adult Protective Services on my property manager and her boss. So yesterday happens, and I get no response from anybody. And so today I contact, I check the email again, and I again send another email to the property manager's boss saying that I forward her email to me with the eviction notice, as I found out. I'm like, it was an eviction notice, not just a lease violation that goes on my record. And I'm being ordered to sign the eviction notice or I will be evicted. And so I have to confess that the things that I'm being accused of saying to Percy are true, or I get evicted. Wow. So much for justice. And innocent until proven guilty. It just doesn't exist in Utah. That's further proof, guys. And so, I send another email to the property manager's boss and say, and forwarding that eviction notice threat and demanding immediate termination of the property manager and whoever filed the complaint, because it was anonymous. I'm just assuming it's Percy, but she's taking the word of somebody without finding out what's going on, which means it must have been Percy because of his status. And so I gave two options. If it was a tenant who for some reason doesn't like me and just has never told me that they don't like me and decided this was the one time they were going to find an excuse to complain about me without telling me, but I don't know, they're terminated. They're going to be evicted themselves instead. That's the demand. If they're going to make a false accusation of that serious of a nature, because the accusation is that I committed a third-degree felony. That's how serious the complaint was against me. And because I have the evidence, and I informed the bosses, or the boss of the property manager, that I have the evidence, as I informed Adult Protective Services that I have the evidence. If it's a tenant, they have to be evicted instead. And if it's Percy, which I'm pretty sure it is, he has to be fired from his bosses, that they need to contact his bosses and inform them that he has threatened a vulnerable adult in Utah, one of their tenants, and that he can't be here anymore. He's not here today, and he's not ever going to be here until this is resolved with me gone. So, I've demanded his termination as well, which is what I was complaining about with Adult Protective Services, that he's threatening me. And I informed them about Officer Natalie Johansson, who knows all about it, etc., etc. I mean, it's just, the situation makes them look so dumb that they think I'm that dumb, that it can't be the case, that they're just doing this seriously. Something else has motivated them, because Percy stayed away this whole year because the police told him to stay away, and the property manager, however, has been torturing me with my air unit and my allergy to mold, and I've told you about all the consequences that I've had to do as a result of her negligence. And so it's clear they're getting told what to do, because this isn't something that you just do just for the sake of doing. And like I said, I don't think it's a tenant, because they know me for 5 years now, and they know I've been good to them. So I can't see anybody stabbing me in the back, because the only person that would stab me in the back is the person that would say stabbing in the back to me in a letter in which Percy had lied to them. So that person knows who I'm referring to here. If they're watching, and they aren't, because this is too long for them to watch. And so I doubt it's them. And so what else has been going on in my life that would be a clue as to the motivation or the reason why they would do this at this time now? Is it coronavirus? No, it's not coronavirus. Because Percy was lying. he was saying who's 60 years old or 55, and then going down to 50, and then 45. And then when he had enough hands of those that were in attendance, he says, "You're all going to die." I got that on tape, got that recorded, but I can't reveal that part to the public. It has to be edited further to prevent exposing other tenants here in the building. And it was just atrocious what he was doing there. But I recorded the whole thing, and so what is going on? What's the cause? Well, guess what is due by the church's lawyers on the 30th at midnight? Yes, I submitted to them my complaint. Finally figuring out that, Rule 4D, the waiver of summons. So I did that video thing for you and told you all about it and that I was doing it, and then I was on my way out the door to go file it. And then when I got back, I showed you the receipts. It's been filed. Notice that it's before all of this crap. Notice the lawyers have not returned my waiver of summons. I did call them. I got it recorded. I even pulled a Trump afterward because I forgot to shut off the recording. But there was nothing on it of value to give to you guys, to share with you guys. But I'm still keeping it just in case. Because I had to leave a voice message on an automated system as I got transferred to the civil case department, and notified them that of the civil case filing number, and that of who I am, and that I'm waiting for the waiver of my copy of the waiver of summons. Just following up, and left it at that. So they're gonna get that call, and they're gonna know that I'm still on top of things and well aware of what's going on. And if they see this video, if they even know to see this video, if any whistleblowers for the church are going to tattle to them, they're going to see this video and inform them of it. But the church lawyers reached out, said, "Get him out of his apartment, evict him," because they know that I'm not going to confess to third-degree felonies in order to keep my apartment. Because once I agree, then the police come over and say, "Oh, well, you signed a confession." And they evict me that way. Do you see the trap they think they've set for me? Do you see the seriousness of the situation that the church's lawyers are resorting to because they can't respond to my lawsuit to the courts? And they've got 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today, I go into the federal courthouse and have them enter default for non-response by the defense. And then that's it. Case closed. The church closes officially not just for the coronavirus. And like I said, they're hoping the coronavirus is going to save them. And it's not. I've got an excellent immune system. So, sorry. And so, yeah, that's why I tried to reach out to the lawyers to see if they're going to want to talk with me, make some kind of a plea arrangement, or compliance to my request for relief, which is hand over the keys of the whole corporation or sell everything and give me the balance. Because the church cannot be allowed to continue. This is the kind of crap they pull. And like I told you, the only crime I've committed was that I am a translator of ancient Egyptian and Paleo-Hebrew. And that's why I show the evidence at the beginning of all of my videos now. And so, yeah, I just have to keep waiting, hoping that I don't get assaulted and forcibly removed unjustly. Because technically, if they do send an eviction notice for non-compliance to confessing to what I never said, they're supposed to take me to court. And of course, in the court, I would say, Your Honor, let me play for you the recording of the incident that they're accusing me of. And the judge will listen to it, and the judge will be angry as he looks over at the property manager. And yeah, it's not going to be good for them. So that's what they have to do. That's according to Utah law. If you evict somebody and the person says, no, take me to court, we'll settle this in court. They have to take me to court. The police can't remove me from the premises. It has to be through a court order. So, I don't know if they know that, because they've probably never had to do it before. But, yeah, it's clear that the fix is in. And they're trying to not only evict me, but in Utah, the homeless are treated like crap. And I've been reporting on that. And it's clear they're trying to execute me as well. Because if I go to the streets, how am I going to survive? The homeless are treated like crap. It's amazing they survive. They've been doing it for a while, so they know how to work the system. So, yeah. If you're not Mormons, you're going to be enraged with all of this. But understand, I am your last hope. The judge in Kay Burningham's case, he's refusing to give a reply, an answer to the hearing. I'll check it again. Getty v. COP. Here it is. Pace monitor. Getty versus. Yep. Still nothing. And it's before noon, so they haven't done it today yet, if at all. But February 13th, that's the hearing that they had. And that, let's see, which, before Judge Robert J. Shelby, and he's supposed to reply to this as to his decision, because the church motioned for dismissal. And this hearing on the 13th of February was for the church's claim to dismiss, and he's supposed to get back, and it's been over a month now. He still hasn't made a decision, and he's not going to make a decision because he can probably wait for the rest of eternity and use coronavirus as his excuse. Even use coronavirus eventually, if it gets worse, to say, oh, well, we got to shut down this case because, we just gotta. Nothing we can do about it. Coronavirus. But you'll notice that hers is also including racketeering as the cause. That's for educational racketeering. Mine is for the more serious stuff, the financial matters, but also education. Yeah, mine goes back to the 2008 case, and that's the evidence you see. What they did to me by violating my First Amendment rights, claiming their First Amendment rights, is the evidence against them. And the church lawyers know it, because they're not responding to my call, and they're refusing they're trying to get other people to destroy my life so that I can't do anything. I lose the computers. Oh, I can't type up motions or submit emails or do these videos. So they know exactly how to destroy me, and they're going full steam ahead, and people are trying to be compliant to them in destroying my life. So I hope you understand that. I mean, BYU students are protesting about the church's flip-flopping on gay rights. You need to be protesting the church on my behalf. I'm the one who will solve the problem, which is the church. My lawsuit destroys the church. They know it. The problem is I can't get anybody else to know it. This is the biggest lawsuit that has gone under the radar. So, alrighty. I'll keep calling or keep following up in regards to the immediate threat. But 2 weeks, I can hold out for 2 weeks. The church will have to do something, because once I put an entry of default, and they've already seen it for the judges, so they know I know about entry of default. And I put on the voicemail the case number, so if they're going to claim, oh, we never got the lawsuit, and we don't know anything about it, they have the case number. They can download from Pace Monitor, because they pay for that site, or they could pay for their client, and download the PDF versions. So they've been served. They have to respond now. They need to cut out all this crap about trying to destroy my life and deal with the fact that their client are criminals. So more to come, because it's still not resolved. As I'm uploading the video, I realize I forgot to also mention, in my lawsuit, I had a hate crimes set of counts against the church. And so the lawyers would have read the complaint and would have known that I am including the people involved here with their hatred connected to their client, the Corporation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Corporation of the President. And so for them to reach out to the people that are already in the complaint to finish me off just helps prove my case even more. And so that's what Mormons have not understood, is that once you commit a crime as a Mormon, you are representing the church. And so your crimes are the church's crimes. That's how RICO Act works. Notice my case is a RICO Act. So I needed to get that in for you as well.